Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and the race to have the thinnest foldable phone is really heating up, especially since Samsung released their Galaxy Z Fold 7, that very thin foldable phone, but Honor's releasing their flagship Magic V5 foldable, which the white variant is apparently the thinnest foldable in the world. Now we're talking about a 0.1 millimeter difference. They didn't send me the white variant, so the Z Fold 7 I think is 0.1 millimeters thinner than this model. Regardless, I do have Samsung's latest foldable and even Vivo's X Fold 5 to put up next to our Magic V5 from Honor. But anyways, let's dive into it. We're gonna take a quick look what comes in the box of the Magic V5 and then check out the hardware of this device and get some hands-on. Let's get started. Here's the box for the Honor Magic V5. Opening the box, let's see what's inside. First of all, the V5 with some warnings, just making sure you take care of the device you get. Setting that to the side, let's see what else is in the box, including a SIM ejection tool. And already I can tell it does include a case, which is always a nice welcome, especially when you're spending that kind of money for a foldable phone. This case specifically also has a ring on the outside, which is perfect for when you want to set your phone up vertically or horizontally when you're watching content. And finally, you get a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable for charging. All right, on to what you came to see, the Magic V5. That does have a lot of paper around it, but let's peel that off. And for the first time, ooh, I really like this brushed look. Not for sale. If you'd like to buy this phone, drop a comment. I'm just kidding. It's not for sale, obviously. Anyways, let's close it for the first time. Ooh, very satisfying closing sound. Oh, it's crazy thin too. Anyways, let's turn this on for the first time. And while it boots up, let's take a closer look at this hardware. When closed, down at the bottom, SIM card slot, microphones, and a USB Type-C port, which is basically the one side. Another speaker. Moving along, on the right side here is where our power button is with an embedded fingerprint scanner. Volume rockers. Make note of that camera bump. It is there. It is substantial, just like every foldable that's this thin, of course. Another microphone and speaker up towards the top. And then just a close look at that hinge. I do like that they added just a design to the hinge, makes it look really clean. And a close look at that black gold. Honestly, it's kind of like a bronze, a brushed bronze, if I had to describe it. It looks really good. And there is that camera module. Close look at that Honor AI Falcon camera system, a triple camera setup, a 50 megapixel wide angle lens, a 64 megapixel periscope telephoto lens camera. I'm excited to take some zoom shots with this phone, a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle lens as well. And also, while we're close up, just a close look at that hinge mechanism from this side. It does completely clasp to the other side and sit completely flat. Anyways, we are all set up and ready to go. I'm going to run through the startup process, talk about anything that's noteworthy. Gemini is your personal AI assistant. You can use it hands-free. Now let's get this fingerprint scanner set up. You just have to place your finger on and swipe left and right, so you don't even have to lift your finger off anymore. This seems to be pretty consistent across the board with a lot of companies now. It seems like you don't have to keep lifting and placing it down. There we go. Enrolled. You can add more if you'd like to. You can also set up face recognition. Just a few final notes before you finish up. And here we go, ready to go. I would like to point out there is a pre-installed screen protector on the outside of this display, which I recommend keeping on. However, just peeling it off for the unboxing. That outside display is 6.43 inches at 120 hertz, so very smooth overall, and it gets up to 5,000 nits of brightness, so it's actually kind of crazy how bright that gets. Opening up to a 7.95 inch inside display, which also gets up to 5,000 nits of brightness, which again is just crazy bright, especially when you have, direct sunlight on it. It should be no problem. This is also a 120 hertz display at 2352 by 2172, so not quite a square. I'd also like to point out when you open the phone with the crease on the inside, it's one of the least noticeable ones out there for sure. You can still kind of feel it, but again, overall, it's just Kind of crazy how minimal that crease is overall, and just how premium opening and closing this phone actually is. It really just feels like a regular phone in the hand, and then you open it on up, and you just basically have a tablet in your hand. Going into the camera app lets you know you have more precise zooming, which is great when you have a periscope telephoto lens, and an improved menu as well. So if we wanted to press and hold, there is that zooming. It kind of locks in on those specific ones, so you feel a slight haptic feedback when you get to certain percentages, and it just seems to be pretty quick to zoom. Snapping some pictures, shutter speed is very fast overall. Let's go to 3x, all the way up to 6x as well. And again, very quick and snappy. Of course, it's amazing to have the large viewfinder. If you tap in the upper right-hand corner, you can see a quick preview of the pictures that you're taking, which is always nice. Swapping through some options, a night mode, portrait mode. I'm going to turn beauty mode off. I'm not a big fan of that. And they do have different options with different focal lengths, which is always nice. Going into video, if you're curious, you can film all the way up to 4K 60, and I think that's it. I don't think you can actually shoot 8K video on this. They do, of course, have a pro mode, so you can fully customize the shot to your liking. And going into more, there's a ton, including super macro to get really close. Finally, of course, one of the best things about a folding phone is you have multiple options. So if we select this, you can turn on an animation with the front screen, which is great. So, hey, let's say you're taking a picture of someone and you're like, hey, pay attention, smile, maybe a kid, you can have a little animation that's really cute, but you're not taking a picture with that front camera, you're taking a picture with the main lens. And not only that, if you go to it, you can actually turn the cover screen on. So if you want to get a preview or give whoever you're taking a picture of a preview, that is completely an option. Obviously, taking selfies is much better this way. If your phone is closed and you press this icon, unfold your phone to use the rear selfie. This way it won't turn the screen on and you won't actually touch buttons, and you can go ahead and say, hey, what's going on? Here's a quick selfie on this lens using all of these main lenses, and you can swap through. If you wanted to zoom in for whatever reason, you can. 1.5x, switch to portrait photo mode. There we go, and you get really good, honestly, really good. Honor's done a really good job with their portraits, to be honest. And as promised, a quick side-by-side look with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. As you can tell, in terms of how thick it is pretty similar. I'd say the camera on the Honor does protrude out a little more, but I do expect it to be a little bit more capable than the Z Fold 7s. And don't forget about the X Fold 5 from Vivo, another very thin foldable phone with somewhat similar dimensions overall. Now, let's open these up so we can take a quick look at them side by side when they are unfolded. All right, so here we go. Z Fold 7 on the left now. So a little bit different in terms of the aspect ratio, how tall everything is. And again, just very similar in terms of how thin they are. And one final look, Honor up towards the top. Just a quick look at the differences in the hinge and the corners as well. So overall, a really good look for foldables these days. I really like the competition. And overall, for now, that's everything I can talk about. There's a lot more to come, so be sure to click that subscribe button. I can go a little bit more in depth. Be sure to follow me on various social media. I'll link to that all down below. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Again, just a crazy thin folding phone with a really good camera attached to it. You do get the latest chipset, a lot of AI built into it, and more. So anyways, that's about it. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.